Hi, and welcome to the Reflective Rebels podcast. I'm Ben, a coach working with small business owners on a mission to spread joy. The kind of joy that comes from knowing who you are, what you want, and having the courage to go out there and get it. I'm joined on the sofa today by Kim, who's going to share the real version of her story, not the LinkedIn, Instagram shiny version, but actually what it's like to go for it and do something amazing. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Good to have you. I got through that without fucking it up, so there's a good start.
I know. I was waiting. I was like...
I swore in the first 30 seconds, though, so we've set the tone.
It's fine.
Right, I usually start somewhere unexpected.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know, what's your favourite thing to do when it rains?
Oh, I don't know. Hang on. What do I do when I just usually look out the window and go, isn't that nice? Do you ever do that? Do you ever sit and just look out the window? Isn't it nice? Especially when you're inside and you see everybody walking past and you're like, wankers. Like, it's so nice, isn't it? Get your dressing gown on and just look out the window.
Just watch.
I love it.
People watch.
Just people watch, or just look out the window and watch rain. It's quite nice, quite therapeutic.
Describe to us where you would be sitting then if you were doing this on a rainy Sunday afternoon.
Well, I would have my dressing gown on, vape in hand probably, and I would just be standing at my window, and sometimes I actually like to go backwards and forwards to the front window. And then I go to the back window and just to see if there's a difference in rain. I know that sounds weird, but it's quite nice. I love watching rain. It's just nice, isn't it?
What is it about rain that you like watching?
It's just really therapeutic. It's just really, really therapeutic. I think that's why when you go to spas and stuff, you know, they've got rainwater, like noise in the background. It's dead nice. Either that or I'm reading a book. I've just remembered. I've got massive on reading again.
Oh, what are you reading at the moment?
I've got a craving on the go. So
is that the kind of lots of bones and death crime thing?
Quite into that, yeah. I wasn't, and then my friend had said start reading Frida McFadden stuff, and I was like, all right, okay. So I started with The Housemaid. And have you read The Housemaid?
No, Natalie was obsessed with it. I
said to Natalie, I was like, I'm reading Housemaid, and about 3 people in that room that night went, ooh. And so I was reading it, and then I had to read the following 2 and I just got hooked. And then I've saw my genre of reading's gone more down the murderous
murder and death.
The murder and death, and I'm all for it. I was in Waterstones on Monday, and I picked up the other L.J. Ross book as well. Have you read them ones? They're like based
This is not my genre.
Oh, are they not? You quite...
Natalie, yes, absolutely loves it.
What's your genre?
Oh, well, I flit around. Like, fantasy and science fiction is my go-to escapism.
Okay.
So I've ordered on my Kindle at the weekend some random thing that's like that.
I can't get away with fantasy.
I know.
I think if I need to be reading it, I need to be wearing elf ears and like... You know, maybe have a sword or something like because
That's what I do.
Natalie, I'm leaving. I'm off to read my book. I'm on a quest. I can't handle it. Yeah, I just think because I get so involved in a book. Do you ever feel like when you read a book, you're in it? So like, if you're reading, you're part of the book. So if I was part of that book, I would absolutely.
You would be. No, that.
I'd need to be yielding something. I'd need to I don't know, have a crystal next to me or something. I
was reading it with my toast this morning. Full elf outfit.
Full Gandalf was on display. Then gotta go to work now.
Yeah.
Get all
quickly
off.
Get changed.
Yeah. Do you know what? Why not? I love that.
It's not. So tell me then, if you're going to apply that to these murder novels.
Yeah, I've got me monocle and me big pipe. And I sit with my, what's that detective hat they wear? What's that called?
Oh, they're like the Sherlocky thing?
Yeah, I have one of them on and I'm reading it and I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And do you think you can solve crime in everyday life now?
Do you know, I kind of have
qualified?
to. I think I'm qualified. I've got the degree in that now, I think. Because, but I get really mad when I do guess it. Because then I've ruined my book.
Do you get it right?
Sometimes, rarely, but sometimes I get it right. And when I don't get it right and there's a twist, I'm like, yes. And I'm like, oh my God. And I can be up till like 2 a.m, just like, I've got to finish this book.
So you don't like knowing the ending?
No, but I like to guess it, but not be right. Does that make sense?
It does, I think.
And my sister's
the
same.
You like to be surprised?
Yeah, because I'm like, I was nowhere near. And then when I am right, I'm like, I've ruined it for myself.
Mm.
Like, what's the point?
It's quite rare an author can actually do that.
Yeah.
Especially, I think, for sort of mass-marketed novels. They tend to follow a formula that we all know what to expect.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, you know. So when they do get it, like the Frida McFadden's really good because there's always a twist, and I'm excited for the twist. I think there's only a couple of books I've read where it's like, oh, I figured that. It's a bit shit. Whereas the Craven ones, there's always like so many characters that I can't keep up with all the characters. So I've always got a little backstory in my head of what the characters might have, like their double kind of life in the book. But there's so many, you lose track.
You can't keep up.
Yeah. And then the L.J. Ross ones, they're really good. They're set around like the northeast and a bit of the northwest, I think. But they're really good. And sometimes I'm like, sometimes you know who's kind of, it's almost like Columbo style. You know that someone's the killer, but you need to know how and why.
Yeah.
So it's quite good. All that isn't actually connected to the murder that they're looking at, but it will be connected later on. I like stuff like that.
There's mysteries and problem solving and puzzles always been something you're interested in?
Do you know what? Subconsciously, I think probably because I was literally, I know this sounds mad, but this morning I was outside hanging up the aprons from work and they were all in a knot from the washing machine and I couldn't move until I'd unknotted all of the apron strings. And I was like, we're not going anywhere. We're doing this. So, yeah, and I needed to solve that thing. And I think, yeah.
What's the motivation? A need to solve the problem? A need for order?
Oh, I don't know. I need to know I'm able. Like, I think it's is it what do you call it? Self-justification? Is that a word?
Well, it is now.
Yeah, like.
I think so.
Yeah, you know when you're like, you know you can do something, but you have to prove it that you can. I'm very much like that. I think after spending so many years of people kind of looking at me going, oh, it's just Kim, you know, silly Kim. When actually Kim's got a brain. So sometimes I think like, I have to. That could be something. Really? Yeah. Like, no,
that's a nice launch pad then, isn't it? Back to young Kim.
Yeah. Young Kim was fun.
Go on, tell us about young Kim.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't quite fit the mix. I don't think I've always said I was almost like a jigsaw puzzle piece that didn't fit into anybody else's puzzle. Like it just didn't fit. So I would hang out with people, but like especially at school, there'd be groups of people at school, and because I didn't dress like them and didn't want to do the things that they wanted to do, or wear Crayola earrings. I didn't want to wear Crayola earrings. Who
right,
does?
I'm going to have to ask what that is.
Oh man, they're like these massive golds.
They're like...
Yeah, and do you remember the clown necklaces? I was never a fan. They scared me. I don't like them. Sorry. Argos was never getting my 99.99. But the people at school wanted to do that, and I just thought, I don't want to. Like, they weren't bad people, but they just weren't my people. And then, you know, you'd get the people that were bad people, and they would maybe mock you at school or whatever, and just because you were slightly different or you wanted to wear things slightly differently. And then I found a nice friendship group. We're all totally different, but we kind of fitted in, but I still didn't quite fit their mix. Like, we're best friends, but I'm just still quite, you know, it just didn't quite fit. It was weird. But it never stopped me being that odd piece. I never felt I had to change my puzzle piece to fit theirs.
To fit them.
Yeah, I just thought, well, I don't fit and they don't mind, but they'll squeeze me in. Like, it's fine.
So at what age did you first become aware of that then?
It was actually just very recently. I just thought, actually, I didn't really quite...
So this is not how you felt at the time, but it's you
well,
looking back.
At the time, it was just like, something's a bit off. Like, I just don't want to do that. I was quite a clever kid at school, whereas if the group I was in right at the start of school, we'd gone to secondary and they were saying, we're going to Skive this afternoon, because back in the day when you could leave school to go to the shop for like a packet of crisps and a bag of chips, amazing. And they would walk back down, they were like, oh, I don't want to, we're just going to Skive, we're going to be late. And that didn't sit nice with me. I was like, no, I want to be in. So I just kind of avoided that group and I wandered off. So I didn't feel like I was pulled into anything. I kind of made the right choice. But it was like, no, that's not right. And then I did meet some really cool friends that were like a few years above me at school, like maybe a year, 2 years above me. And I was like, oh yeah, these people are cool. They get me. I don't need to pretend I'm anybody with these guys. But yeah, I just felt a bit slightly it wasn't quite right at school. And yeah, school was odd, but what isn't odd at school when you're that age? No one likes school when you're that age.
It's a crazy environment,
It is, and then you'd think, oh, I wish I could go back. Well, I don't, but...
Would you do anything differently if you could?
I don't know. sure. I don't think so. Because it's lessons learned, isn't it? We always say if you could go back to being 17, 18, would you? And the answer is no. Would you? Would you go back to being... If you had... I always ask this to my mum. If you had the head on your shoulders now, but you went back to the age you were at school, what would you do it? And she's, no. Or what would you do differently? And she's like, oh, it's a question, isn't it? It's what would you do differently?
What would you do differently?
I don't know. I would probably tell a few more people to fuck off. You know, when like you would just let things slide because you were at school, and oh no, I shouldn't say that because they might beat me up after school. Nah, fuck off. You won't. Go get your dad. Whatever. Fuck off. Go get your big brother because he doesn't care. Fuck off. I think is probably what I would say. Lots of fuck offs, I think.
So that makes me think perhaps there were boundaries being overstepped or people just behaving in ways that just needed to be told to fuck off.
I think, yeah.
What kind of things?
I mean, it was just, schools are ugly, aren't there? And our school was particularly shit. I mean, it's not there anymore. It got demolished. That's how shit it kind of was. But there was a lot of like mixed kind of scenarios where, well, mixed, what would you call it? Where the, you know, private schools have just that specific type of standard of family, and then or whatever school has this kind of, whereas ours, we came from all different backgrounds. That's the word.
Yeah.
So all different backgrounds. And some of them just, they didn't like you because maybe you had a nice house and you were picked on for having a nice house. And, or if you had, you know, nice parents or whatever, or parents that were maybe a bit strict as well, like, or, you know, that you would get teased or bullied because your parents cared about you. It was a bit weird. Or if you didn't want to go to a party and get absolutely shit-faced, you know, well, why not? You're not, you know, what's wrong with you? The way you're dressed, you know, oh, well, you don't fit our standards, so therefore we'll torment you. And I don't know if that's still a thing in schools. I've worked in schools. I was a teacher for a while, and I feel like that sort of things, I'm hoping, has dropped off a little bit. Like it's more normal now for kids to blend and meet other kids and stuff. Whereas when I was at school, it was, you dress this way or we're just going to batter you. I don't know, but I think it's changed a bit in schools now, hopefully.
So you mentioned clothes and dressing a few times. Tell us about your fashion at age 16, 17.
I was cool.
Yeah, okay. What does that mean?
I'm sticking with that. When I went to GCSE, they did like an awards thing, and I got an award for bringing bringing back the Gothic revival is what my award was for. I thought, cool. So yeah, it was very much the big pants, the big massive pants that you used to walk around in the rain, and you get just soaked up to here. Then the chain. You know, the chain on your pants that would catch on every door. And then if you had 2 or 3 chains, you were fucked. You weren't going anywhere. Them dolls were clinging onto you. You know, the dog collars, you know, all the cool stuff. You couldn't get it in Carlisle. My mum used to take us to Newcastle to a shop called Kathmandu. We used to buy it there. No such thing as the internet. You couldn't buy stuff online.
Order stuff in.
No, you had to go. So, yeah. So that's kind of what I was wearing. And my hair was... I started dyeing my hair red. And it kind of went ginger, so that was a decent hammering off the kids. And then I dyed it bright red, and then I dyed it blue. And all of the other kids used to get mad because the teachers wouldn't tell me off. They were like, "Oh, you can get away with it," and I thought, "Yeah, because I'm not an arsehole. Don't be an arsehole. You can get away with stuff." And I used to wear Doc Marten boots, and then my mum got me a blue pair, and I wore them to school, and the kids used to be like, you know, they'd be like, "Oh, sir, Kim's wearing blue shoes. That's not allowed. Tell her off." And they'd be like, "Oh, nice docs." And they would carry on. So, yeah, I looked a bit odd at school, but it was fine. Got away with it.
Where did that come from? Can you remember what?
I think because my older sister, she very much was a very different piece of the puzzle. Like if there's a generic jigsaw puzzle, my sister was the star shape. You know, she very much didn't fit, and she was very, very academic, but she didn't like any of the music that she heard at school, like any of that dance rave music that was going about. Do you remember the CD Bonkers? Do you remember that? Shit. She just didn't. That was not her. And she started listening to MTV came on the scene and what was it? Kerrang came on the telly, and she started watching that, and I thought, this is really cool music, and I just picked it up from her, and then I started kind of dressing a bit more like she would dress, and then that's how it kind of went. And then you meet people, all of a sudden you've opened up to this world of weirdos that they're your tribe, and it's great. So your jigsaw starts to fit, which is nice. So yeah, I think blame my sister.
So we've got the end of GCSEs. Did you stay on at school at that point? What happened?
Yeah, I stayed on. I went to the same school, went to their sixth form because I liked the art department. The art teacher there was absolutely batshit crazy. She was fantastic, and sky was the limit. And she just kind of got the best out of you. She was, when you've got these teachers, every kid's got a teacher they remember. Yeah. She was mine. She was great. She passed away. Quite a while back now. She had cancer, which is such a shame because she was just fab. She was great. So I stayed for that reason. And then, annoyingly, when you said, would I have done anything different, she told me to look at different unis because she said I would have probably got a scholarship, maybe down in London doing art or whatever. But I was a bit too like, no, local Carlisle girl, little person. So I didn't. I stayed at Carlisle. But maybe I should have looked at some unis and could have got a scholarship. Don't know. Never applied. Didn't bother. So yeah, but maybe that's one thing.
What was holding you back then?
Just being scared because you're like, oh no, I can't be that far away from home. My older sister, like I say, she left, she ran, she pegged it. She left Carlisle, she never came back. She lives in Reading now, and that's where she stayed. She always knew she wasn't going to stay. But I quite liked Carlisle. I'm more of a country. I like being in the fresh air. I like being near the fells. I'm a total home bird. So I was like, no, I want to stay. I don't want big cities that scare me. They still kind of do. So, yeah, I just stayed. But it's nice, because if I hadn't stayed, maybe I wouldn't be here. So
what are you doing now?
Exactly. Everything for a reason, innit?
So did you go to, was it the University of the Arts?
University of Cumbria.
University of Cumbria.
Yeah, and I did contemporary applied arts, and that I don't think that course is there anymore. Well, it's not. It's a shame. So you specialised in 4 disciplines. So there was machine embroidery, print, weaving, constructed textiles, and then there was ceramics. And I kept on weaving and ceramics, and then I dropped weave and I just did ceramics. So that's what I did there. But the first 2 years I was just pissed.
Were you living at home? Did you move out? You stayed at home?
I lived at home, and then my mum actually was doing the exact same degree the year above me. So we both went to uni together at the same time doing the same degree.
That's an interesting dynamic.
Isn't
Please
it
tell
just,
me more.
Isn't it just? It was okay.
So
it was.
Let's go back. So she was before you, so she chose before.
Yeah.
What drew her to that? Where was she at in her life to suddenly go, I'm going to do a degree in?
She'd done about 30 odd years in retail. Was like, I just don't want to do this shit anymore. So my dad was doing all right in his job, so she had a good job, so she was like, right, we're fine. I'm just gonna suck it off and I'm gonna go to uni. I'm gonna do an access course, and she just went for it. And then she did the access course, and then she carried on to do the degree, and she did it in ceramics as well. So she was the year above me when we did it. So yeah, fun. So when I was going out and just thinking, I'll just get pissed, I think I rebelled a little bit because I thought, fuck this. So I thought uni's meant to be going out, getting pissed, not taking it seriously in your first year, especially not your first year. You're just kind of floating around, just doing the thing. But she was like, you've got a lecture at 9 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'd be pissed as a fat, and she'd be like, get up, you've got a lecture. I'm like, oh no. So yeah. And then sometimes I'd be making something and you'd get the, what you up to. But apart from that, in fairness to her, she did give me the space, but I was still living at home. So yeah, I would come in at maybe 3-4 in the morning, absolutely shit-faced. And she'd be like, haven't you got this happening now with such and such? Well, you've got to go. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, sometimes she would give me a lift in and go extra quick over the speed bumps just so I would try not to chunder in a car. I'm like, oh, fucking hell. But no, apart from that, she did kind of keep me it was fine. And then it's been quite nice because now there's somebody who knows, like there's somebody who I can say, you know, if I've got a problem at work, I can ring her and be like, do you know? So it's quite nice that I've got that, you know.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't know that at
Yeah,
all.
there's a lot of parents who, well, probably most parents that don't do the same.
No,
exact
my parents
same thing.
do not understand what I do.
Exactly. So it's quite nice to have two very supportive parents, but also knowledgeable parents that know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know if you said something to your parents like, oh, I don't know, I'm doing this coaching thing, but I'm a bit stuck on whatever. They can't be like, I would give this advice actually, because they would be like, I don't fucking know. Like, what, do you want a sandwich? 'Cause, like they don't know. So it is quite nice, but yeah, it can also be a little bit of a hindrance as well because heads can butt. Because it's like, well, I would do it this way, but I'm doing it this way, but I'm your mother. And that's always the trump card. Like, oh God, you are right. We'll do it your way. So yeah, interesting dynamic.
Very, yeah. So I want to know where you're getting pissed. Is this the days of, was it the twisted wheel? And
Oh, the wheel. I love the wheel. Did you ever go?
yeah.
Oh, fucking love the wheel.
What is the scene that you were?
Oh, Wednesday night at the wheel. Not going to lie, I was not 18 when we started going to the wheel. They didn't care. You just give a little smile, didn't you? And like you would like wander in, like we're in. And I can remember when I did turn 18, I was in the wheel and it got to midnight and I just wanged the ID card out and I was like, I'm 18. And everyone else is going, fucking shut up, we're not. It was great. Loved it. Sticky carpets. Cheeky Vimtos were £1.50.
Sticky carpets and cheeky Vimtos. Oh, God.
Brilliant. I can remember once downing so many cheeky Vimtos, then I ran right down the stairs and just like spewed everywhere in the sink, in the toilet. These girls were like, ugh. And then I just kind of wiped up, carried on and ordered another one. It's great.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. Me and my mate, we used to go out with the £10 challenge. We used to go with a tenner, see how many lads we could tap up for drinks and everything, and come home and still have enough for the takeaway on the walk home. It was great. Love £10 Wednesdays. Used to get like...
Get you one drink now.
I know. I was saying to my mum, I was like, I've just bought them $4 from Waterstones and it was 40 quid. And I was like, Jesus Christ. But I thought, that's around. Like, I don't drink anymore. I've been 4 years sober. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought that would be a round of drinks, that. So, but yeah. Oh, I used to love getting pissed in the wheel. If the wheel was still around, I'd probably still be pissed.
Still be there. So what was that choice? What's the sober story, if you don't mind me asking?
Bits and bobs. So... I don't know, I kind of tell people what they want to know. Some people love a dark story, don't they? Like, oh, were you an absolute alcoholic? And I just go, yeah. You just tell people anything to shut them up. But I did when I was drinking, so I used to drink a lot because I worked in a pub. So I did drink a lot. I was out quite a lot. I was pissed probably most nights. But then the hangovers crept in a bit more. Yeah, and I thought, I'm losing days here. And then when I started teaching, you can't get pissed on a night time because you're teaching children. So it was like weekend drinks, but I would cram the drinks into the weekend. And then when I was living in Stoke-on-Trent, there was nobody I kind of knew. And then my housemate, he would piss back off home, which was quite nice because he was a knobhead. But I would get maybe 3 bottles of wine on the Friday night at the Tesco, and then I would sit and I would probably get through 2.5 bottles and think, oh, best go to bed now. Because my then boyfriend, now husband, he didn't live in Stoke with me, so it was kind of on your own, and what would you do? Just get pissed. Then the next day I'd feel a bit groggy, but then I would go and maybe buy a couple more bottles of wine and do it again, and it was sheer boredom. And then if I would visit home or anything, there'd always be like a get-together or a party, and I can't just have one. So I can't have a glass of wine and then that's me. I've got to have the bottle, and then when the bottle's done, I have to have more. And it turned into more of like binge drinking. And then I would lose the next day completely because I then wasn't used to it. So I would just lose it. So, and I'd be hanging out my ass. And I think I don't have time for this shit. So, and nights out, I would go out and just get absolutely shit-faced. Then you would end up with like an empty purse. And then you would just sick it all out the next day. I'm like, oh, no. So I thought, because I'd stopped because it was just binge drinking. It was a Boxing Day one year. Was it Christmas Day? Christmas Day one year. I did the same thing, got absolutely hammered. Next day, I kind of half lost Boxing Day. Mum said, do you want a drink? I said, no. I was like, I'm all right. Like, I wasn't wouldn't say I was addicted to alcohol. I just
become just part of how you were living your life.
Yeah, I just didn't know, like, I just can't have one drink. It's an addictive personality is what I've learned. So can't have one, you've got to have the lot. So she said, do you want a drink? I said, nah. I was like, I really don't. And I said, oh, do you know what? I'm going to do dry January. And then 4 years later, here I am. And it's quite nice. I don't miss drinking. Like sometimes if I see a pink gin, and if anybody offered me a cheeky Vimto, that might, I don't know. I couldn't. But no, I'm scared to drink because I think if I have one, would the pattern just carry on? Would I just get shit-faced again? So it's better and safer for everybody if I don't drink, because my sister gets married in June and I said, I might have a drink at your wedding. And her and my mum both went, no. So that kind of answers a question as well, doesn't it? They were like, you're mad enough, you don't need one. So, yeah.
And how do you feel having stopped?
Fine. Like, yeah, it's quite nice. It's nice on a night out when you see everybody absolutely hammered and you think, oh, that's a bad head tomorrow. I don't condone or condemn drinking. If you want to go out, if you want to get absolutely shit-faced, like, I'm not stopping you. Like, go for it. But it is quite nice being the person on the corner going, oh, I remember that. I've got a photo of that. Leverage. So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Very welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so we have to get from between the degree and you've mentioned teaching. Is that the next step, or are there things in between?
No, there's things in between.
Go on, let's.
I finished my degree and then I was working in Republic, and I can remember just sitting. They'd asked me to go put a high vis on, stand in the car park, hand out flyers to all the cars coming into the Lanes car park. And I can remember standing there thinking, what is this? And I was handing leaflets over to people I knew going, I do have a degree. Like, this isn't my job. And I was so ashamed. I don't know why. I was like, oh God. But I did that for a bit. And then I worked in Shoe. I was the stockroom manager in Shoe. No, I wasn't. Was I? I was something in the stockroom. Stockroom bitch, not manager. So I was there, did that. And then as well as that, I was working in a pub. Worked in a pub for about 8 years. So doing a lot of barmaid stuff. And then I was also doing the pottery. So it was pottery, pub, working in a shoe shop. So I was doing the three and I was still skint. And I was like, what is going on?
And this is pottery making and...
Yeah, just making
and selling.
Yeah. And I was like, what am I doing? I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, you know, when you feel like you're going nowhere. So I left a degree at 18. I'm now 25 and I'm thinking, what have I done? Like, I can't carry on like this. And my older sister, who is a teacher, she said, have you thought about teaching? And she's like, I think you'd be really good at it. And I was like, all right, okay. I don't like children. And she was like, you don't have to. It's fine. Neither do I. I was like, right, okay. So off I went, did it all, like, filled my application out, went to Reading to her school to do, like, my placement-y stuff. Actually got in at Newcastle, and at the interview, they were like, you must like children to be able to do this job. You must like children. And I'm thinking, I fucking don't. I just want the holidays. So, but I didn't say that. I went, I love them. But I got in, I got a place. They wanted me because of my ceramics background, because there's a lot of schools and teachers that don't have that.
No,
like, they don't have ceramics. They've got everything else, but they don't have someone that's a specialist in ceramics. So I think that's what swayed it. So I did that, went to Newcastle for the duration of my teaching qualification, PGCE, met my then boyfriend, now husband, met him as I was moving away. So we were like, oh, we'll see how it goes. We still are, it's fine. Married, house, mortgage, dog, but we're still seeing how it goes. So I met him. So I luckily I had kind of him as well. Did that, left there, came back to Carlisle for a bit, moved in with him, then got a job in Stoke-on-Trent. And I was like, I'm going to go now. So he stayed Carlisle. I moved to Stoke.
To go and teach?
To go and teach, yeah. So I did my NQT year at Stoke-on-Trent. And that's where I kind of just used it to go around all the potteries.
I was going to say, the home of pottery.
Yeah, no. I mean, could it have landed any better for me? So went, explored there, went to all the potteries, did all that. But it was only for a year. And I thought that was quite nice to just do that for a year and then move back. So I gained a bit of experience shuffling around. moved back, had a holiday in America, came back with no job. It was great. And then I got the job in... Oh, no, sorry, that was before. Ignore America. No, I got the job at Westlakes Academy in Egremont. And that was only again for a year. I was just a maternity cover.
Yeah.
And then did that. That was quite nice because that at the time, I know it's different now, but at the time it was working towards outstanding. So I'd moved from a really rough school in Bentley in Stoke-on-Trent, like salt of the earth kids. There was a lot of shit going on. You know, moved from that to a school that was working towards outstanding. And it was like a complete gear shift. And the teachers at that school were like super like keen on non-school art, which suited me to the ground. So we didn't do Picasso. We didn't do like, you know, the colour wheel. We didn't do any of that. It was like hard hitting contemporary art throughout all ages. It was really good. And the artwork they were producing was just insane. And they would push for like Wacom pads so they could draw on iPads, on MacBooks and stuff. So they were doing like almost the beginning of AI stuff with drawing and painting on there to then produce big paintings. It was really interesting, but it was hard. And then I went to America for a bit, went on holiday, came back with no job. So yeah. And I went to do the art technician at Friars, and that was almost like I'll do that until I can maybe get a full-time teaching job. And it never, I was doing supply work, so I visited loads of schools being a supply teacher, but being the art technician there. And then I thought, actually, it's quite nice being an art technician because you don't get the bullshit of teaching.
None of the, Yeah,
you get the nice shit and not the shit. So I stayed being the art technician, which opened up the doors to what I'm doing now. So everything for a reason again.
Everything for a reason.
So.
Going back to that time then when you're doing the retail jobs and the pub and all that, you said, what am I doing?
What the fuck am I doing?
Was that internal? Was there external comments and pressure?
External, yeah, very external. I would turn to my mate, we'd pull him, I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I fucking know. Like, what are we doing? You just get stuck. I feel like you can get
So what had
stuck.
happened to get you stuck?
I think it's just the whole lack of options that, because when you're at uni, you're kind of lied to. Like, people tell you, you know, oh, when you leave uni, you'll get this job here and you'll go on to do this. You'll make £3,000 an hour and you will be fantastic and everything will be lovely.
I want that job.
Yeah, and you go, yay! And then you leave and you're like, well, where's the opportunities then? And you kind of wait for it.
So when did you graduate uni? What?
2010? Is that? What's 2010? How many years ago was that?
2016?
2010, I think. Was it 2012? Somewhere around then, I think. I can't remember. How old would I be? 21? When did you leave uni?
When did you leave uni?
Yeah, how old are you when you leave uni? If you go to school?
Yeah, 21-ish.
21-ish? Yeah. So however long ago that was. A while. What am I now? 37. Oh, I don't know maths. Then.
About then.
Yeah, about then. So yeah, I left, and then I thought I'll just get a little job. You know, I'll carry on working at the pub and I'll carry on working at the shop, and then something should fall into place. And it didn't. Like, I got a job offer doing some design work for a company called Urban Horse, and they wanted some t-shirts made. So I designed some t-shirts for them, and that was kind of it. And I was like, So unless you go physically looking for something, or if you're proactive, if you're not proactive, nothing's happening. And I wasn't proactive because I just expected the world to just go, oh, we want you in our gallery. Well,
what was the dream when you were at uni then? What was the dream job?
It was always something to do in art, not necessarily ceramics, because I'd never touched clay until I went to uni. So it was always something in art. Even when I was in year 6, leaving junior school, you had to pull up a poster that read what you wanted to be when you grew up, and mine said artist. So it was always something in the creative field, but not necessarily what I was in now, but just something to do with being creative. And then staying stagnant and still, I was like, this isn't happening. It's soul destroying, having to just get up, go to work and basically make a shit wage to come home and do it all again the next day, and it was just monotonous, and it was just getting me down. And that's when my sister had said, "Oh, have you thought about?" But I thought, "Oh, what if I don't get in?" And it was all the big, ifs and buts and stuff, isn't it? Like, oh, but you've got to do it. You've got to kind of.
What was the shift to make you go for it then?
I just got out of a shitty kind of relationship. And I'd been single for about 3.5 years. I was single, and I was like, it's like I've been alone for 3.5 years. I mean, that didn't bother me, but I've been alone for 3.5 years. There's nothing stopping me here. There's nothing tying me down. Like, I've got no house. I was living with a couple of lads and a dog, so I was like, it's not my house. I can leave. I've got no permanent roots here. The only thing that kind of was half keeping me was family, because that doesn't. And I thought, well, there's a mobile phone, I can ring people, and it's only for a year. So it was like, I can always come back. So it's not like what is stopping me. It was that kind of shift in your brain of what is stopping me. Not much. So yeah, but it was I'm very vocal with people. I'm like, do you think this is right? Do you think doing this is right? What about this? Do you reckon? So I'm always I've got to think everything through about 50,000 times before I make a decision. So that's probably why it took me 3.5 years. Because I'm like, what finances? Oh, what's it going to cost me? Oh, how am I going to get there? Oh, what if I get lost? It's weird stuff that goes through your head, innit?
I'm going to pause for a moment just to say that the podcast is funded and sponsored, if you like, by my work coaching. So that's both one-to-one and through gatherings. If you are enjoying the story so far, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe, or if you have 15 more seconds, leave a review wherever you're listening, and you can hear more about the podcast's tips, tricks, and ideas to bring more joy into your life at reflectiverebels.co.uk/newsletter.
That's it, really.
But you did it.
I did it. Yeah, did it. Did it in the end, and best thing I did, really.
Why'd you say that?
But it's just, I quite like my life now. It's really nice. It's nice. It's not, I'm not a multimillionaire living the high life, but it's my life, and I've made it. I've chosen it. It's nice. Everything's kind of been curated for things that I enjoy. So I really enjoy my job.
So let's pick up on that then, because so you were doing the technician job.
Yeah.
In the school.
Yeah.
What happened next?
What did happen next? My grandma died. That's what happened next. Sorry, death. That's what happened. Death. She died. She died, and she left me some money. And my grandma was heavily involved in my business. She loved it. She liked doing the finances. She used to house my stock in her garage. Every show I did, I would get a message.
So this is the making that had been going on.
Yeah.
All since you left. You were still making.
Yeah.
And you were teaching and making.
I was teaching and making.
Art technician. So that thread.
The thread of pottery was always it's always there, and it was in my kitchen for a long time. So I was just sitting in my kitchen making pots, and but I had. My kiln was out at my granny's house. My stock was at my grandma's house. I had the slab roller on my kitchen table. It was just a mess. And it was like I couldn't invite anyone round to my house because I lived in a shithole. So I couldn't do that. So she passed away, and so there was some money left that my mum and dad, we all got a set amount of money from my grandma. And we were allowed to do whatever the hell we wanted with that money. And that's when I said, I'm going to invest it, and I'm going to get a unit. So yeah, I put it all towards that, and there wasn't even like a shadow in my mind that I was going to spend it on a holiday or put it down for a deposit towards a house. No, none of that. That's what I was doing. I was using that money to set up. And the nice thing as well, this is where the very supportive parents come in as well, because they went, we'll match it, and they put in as well. So, and I set up. So that's how it happened. So yeah, over quite a horrible thing came something.
Yeah.
Without her investment, without my grandma's investment, I wouldn't be here today. But I've made it work. It's worked. So it's paid for itself, and it's great.
Had you ever had that conversation with her?
No. It was just something. something that I always knew I wanted, but didn't know how to kind of go about it or anything. I always knew that if you want a unit, you've got to put down quite a hefty deposit. You've got to kit it out. You've got to do all that. So there was the years of me doing the shitty jobs, but also instead of like, you know, spending money on, I don't know, like I say, holidays or cars or whatever, or, you know, sensible things like house deposits, I was buying bits of machinery and bits of this, but it was all spaced out everywhere. That's what I was doing. So when I was there at Friars, she passed away and I said, right, I'm gonna get this unit. But I was still working at the school.
Yeah.
I dropped doing supply teaching. I was just at Friars. And I was really open and transparent with them as well. They were really good. The head of art there, she was like, no, I support you. This is great. Follow your dreams, you know. Because we both thought this is going to be a slow thing. So I'll still work there, but I'll have this studio as well. And I'll do both, just like I used to do. I've always had multiple jobs at the same time. So I'll do both. But it took a year for me to go, I can't do this job anymore. I got quite sick because I was literally working like 2 almost full-time jobs simultaneously. I just didn't realise how popular it would have been. So if I'd known that, I maybe would have done it a long time ago, but I needed them stages to get me there. You need all that, don't you, to get you to here.
So tell us about the studio now then. What have you got? What happens? What goes on there?
Love it. Am I allowed? I didn't know. Is this
Yeah, it's part of your story.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to like... If you give us an advert...
If I bring out a leaflet...
You look like a dick.
Yeah,
but,
here's my leaflet.
But I think I want to know.
Okay.
And I think people listening will want to know. Because you said you've got your life. This is about life, isn't it? This is about business people and life and having businesses that fill us with joy. And you literally said, my life is great. So we need to know about that. We need to know how all of that story... led you to where you are.
It does, yeah. My whole life has revolved around this fucking studio. It really has. It's taken over, and I love it. I love it. It's like a child. You know when you love it, but you're like, fucking thing, but I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're a little shit, but you're my little shit, and I love you. I love it. It's my studio. It's my baby. It's a pottery. So yeah, I got it, and so all of the machinery I kind of had, so I moved it all in. So I started off.
So that
with,
just came together.
Yeah,
it needed a place.
It needed a place because where I was housing my stock, my grandma had passed away, so the stock then moved out to my granny's house, and she was out in Cumwhitton, but the kiln was there anyway, so it was kind of more there, but still not great. So it all moved there. So the kiln. What came first? The stock came first, the slab roller came, the stock and the slab roller, and then all the clay arrived. Then I had some machines that were in storage that I was able to bring back out. So my blunger for mixing porcelain, that came. The wheel that I'd had for forever and a day, that rocked up, so that was there. And then the kiln arrived. So that all got wired in, and then I've been there now 3 years, and from them 3 years, the old wheel's now gone. It's gone to a new home, but there's 3 new wheels in replacement there. So I've had to expand to get 3 new wheels, and then the second kiln arrived because I couldn't manage with just the one kiln anymore. So kiln number 2, Phoenix, she arrived. I got the clay extruder, so that arrived as well. So I've been adding on, and then last year we knocked through into next door, and I've now got a custom built glaze lab in there as well. So it's a full studio setup. It's not just me now in my kitchen making pots on my kitchen table. It's a full on studio setup, and I just didn't expect it to just rock it up. Really didn't. I thought it would take years and years and years for this to build up, but people like pots.
So what happens? What happens when we come? What do people do?
What can't you do?
How would you describe it? What are you trying to build?
When people walk into my studio, whether they've been coming, if it's their millionth time of coming, or whether it's their first time coming, they walk in and I can see the stress literally drop off their shoulders. You said it's Natalie's stress reliever.
Yeah.
It absolutely is, because she walks in and she goes, oh, this is lovely. You can come in. It's super chill. I had a woman in yesterday, actually, and she said she goes to a pottery class somewhere. But she said, oh, it's nothing like this. She was like, it's more chilled out. She said, I don't feel like you're teaching me. It's not structured and firm, and I don't feel like if I fail, it's a bad thing. I was like, well, no, you've got to fuck up. Like, you've got to. So she was really happy to just be in the space, be making, be creative. And a lot of people come in and say it's just their space to just chill out, make some pots, grab a cup of tea if they want to, have a cake. Or sometimes they just want to sit and get angry and just get the day off their shoulders. Yeah, just like, you know, if something shit's happened at work, they can come in. They know fine well they can come in. They can scream and shout about it, make some pots and go, oh, I feel so much better, thanks, bye. It's that kind of space. It was never meant to be a therapeutic space, but that's kind of what it's turned into organically.
It's part of what art has to offer the world, isn't it?
Yeah, I never expected me to have therapist above my head, but and I don't claim to be a therapist because most of the time people will tell me stuff and I go, oh, fucking hell, that's shit, innit? Do you want a cup of tea? You know, and, oh, here, we'll make this pot today. You know, that's shit, we'll make this pot. So I can't offer it as art therapy as such, but for a lot of people, that's exactly what it is. So it's nice. It's developed, and it's again, it's moved from just being a studio where I'm making and selling shit to a studio for everybody to enjoy, to just sit and chill and have a nice time, and yeah, get better at pottery as well.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think your grandma would say if you could see it?
Oh, she'd be chuffed to bits. She'd be asking me how much everything costs. That's the running joke in our family. We always say, if we ask someone, like, I don't know, how much was that? We go, how much, Frida? Because that's all she used to say. How much was that? How much was that? Oh, that's a lot of money. How much was that? She's dead keen to know the finances, like, so how much is that? So yeah, she'd be chuffed, but she'd be happy. She used to be my sympathy buy at shows. I used to do a show and you would sell fuck all. Then my grandma would turn up and go, I'll have that, I'll buy that. And I'd go, thanks for your sympathy buy. And I remember doing a show once and it was, I think I'd pretty much sold out of stuff. It was a good one. And she came, she went, so I don't need to do a sympathy buy then? I went, you don't even need to do a sympathy buy. So she must have known it was gonna get there. She had faith. So should have been chuffed that that's what our money was going to. So
you obviously love it, but you said it's a nightmare as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't talk about the wonderful bits without talking about the shitty hard bits. What's difficult? What's the hard bits about having your business? And
the hard bit is like, it's just sometimes I love it, and this is what I've curated for myself. But sometimes I want a fucking day off. You know what I mean? I just want to rest. I don't want to have to go in. I don't want to have to listen to. I don't want to have to teach, or or it's like if I've got a really full class, it's hard. Like I'm running around, and then it's checking. I've just had. It's not a bad problem, but it's still a problem. I've had lots of things like workshops and community projects happening. My kiln shelves were rammed, and I had a backlog of stuff. But then I've got people going, "Where's my stuff?" And I'm thinking, well, it's still on the shelf, but it's been on the shelf for a few weeks, and why has it not gone through? And it's kind of answering their questions and just being a bit firm with people. You can't always be like, yeah, that's no problem, I'll do it for you, no worries. Like, you can't, you've got to, bit of patience sometimes. And with my own stuff as well. So Potfest is coming up. So I always say I take my kilns back. So your stuff kind of has to wait. My stuff is priority. A lot of people are fine with that. A lot of people aren't. Well, some people aren't. And it's like, well, why not? Why is your stuff going in? That's not very fair. I'm a paying customer. And it's like, you are, but you need to respect the room. Also things like, the place gets so messy because of what it is. It just turns into a shithole. I was doing plaster yesterday and it was just everywhere. And I think, fucking hell. And you've got to tidy it up, and then I've got a class right in who make a massive fucking mess because they're on the wheels, and you feel like half the time I'm just running around with a duster and a mop, and then my mum will come in and she'll go, when was the last time you cleaned this place? It's a shithole. I'm like, fucking 5 minutes ago. So it's stuff like that, or the constant worry of when you're self-employed is, are you going to make your bills?
Yeah.
Because sometimes if you have a quiet week, that quiet week can turn into like quite a quiet month, and then it will knock you back of your bills and things. So it's the constant kind of worry. Like, I don't have a solid wage coming in. This is it. So if you do get quiet, you think, shit, where's the money coming from? Half of me now doesn't worry too much about that, because there's not a month gone by now where I haven't not made my bills. It's been a bit squeaky bum time, but the bills have always been paid. But it's just that worry in the back of your head.
Always there, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm scared if I do take a holiday, I think people are just going to find other places to go. So for the first year, I don't think I took a holiday because I was so scared that people are going to go, well, fuck you, then I'm going to go somewhere else and I might like it there and I'll stay. So I didn't take a break. That's why I got poorly. But
yeah.
And then, yeah, it's just the stuff in the back of your brain, and, you know, finance. It's mainly finances, isn't it? Like, you know, when you get that HMRC thing through of you can file your tax return, and I think, oh, I don't know how. And then you just kind of, so it's stupid self-employed shit that.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
What do you do now? So you had that, you made yourself ill, or you got ill after a year. What do you do now to keep your energy? What are your boundaries?
I say no more. Yeah. I made myself New Year's resolutions that I know I can stick to. So one year I said say yes to everything. So it was almost like that Yes Man film, just say yes. I mean, not to that extreme. I know I haven't married a foreign man named Pablo, but like, just say yes. If there's an opportunity came up, say yes. If you think something's good, apply for it, say yes. So I started doing bigger shows, traveling around, doing bigger things, taking it all on the road. And then the following year, my New Year's resolution was start saying no. So you know what works, you know what doesn't, you know what's going to make you poorly, you know what's going to tire you out, you know the people who are going to drain your social battery. Start saying no to them people as well. So I've got 2 set days off now. So I don't work on a Thursday and I don't work on a Monday, and I don't work. So that's it. And if people say, oh, I can only do a Thursday, tough shit. Like, I'm sorry, I don't work. Those are my days. I say I don't work. I'm not in the studio. Like, you do all the admin bits, and don't you, on a Monday? Like, I tend to go on like meetings with, you know, when I need to have a meeting with Ashley from Quirky, I'll go there and stuff like that. But as a rule, I'm not in the studio. I don't work, and it's just made a massive difference. Saturdays I keep free, so if there's unless I've got like a workshop or a party or a show on, I won't work a Saturday. I won't go into the studio just to work. I'll take it off. So it's quite nice, and it's almost like bonus day. They don't happen very often, but that's like a nice bonus day. And then I've got a day with my husband to we generally just ignore each other, but at least within the same house, you know, for a little bit, or we can do something. So yeah, it's the balance of saying no, but if you think it sounds good, say yes. But if you think it's gonna just upset you, say no. If that makes sense.
Makes sense. I think it's really important as well.
Yeah, it is. Saying no is just as important as saying yes.
Yeah.
And I've learned that. Definitely.
The harder way, unfortunately, as most of us do.
Always the hard way. It's not fun if it's done the easy way. It's always the hard way.
What's next then? Have you got a sense of where things are going next?
So, where are things going? I just feel like constantly on a hamster wheel, aren't you? Constantly trying to just get stuff going. But I think, what is it they say? After 5 years of opening a business, you'll start to see a profit, or a like profits in the bank, or like that nice kind of financial return. So at the minute, the studio is paying for itself. I'm paying a wage. Happy days. Life's great. But there's no nothing at the end of it. Yeah. You know, there's no kind of nice chunk of money at the end to save, or, you know, to this, that, and the other. It's always got to be going places. But I think now I've got literally all the machinery. I've got everything I wanted. So I've set that lab up. I've got the wheels in, I've got the 2 kilns. There's nothing else really I can add. It's there now. Everything is set. So I'm hoping the future will bring some form of
Make
security.
the most of that.
Yeah. Just a bit of financial security where if you do end up getting like, I don't know, a big filthy bill because your car's broken down or something, you can go, there you go. So that would be nice. Just that nice bit of security money sitting in the back, or that money where you think, I fancy a holiday, we've got it, let's go. That sort of thing. So, I mean, I could just stop spending money. That would, you know.
Yeah, you
that
could.
Would work,
Life's short, though.
I know. And I like my car, so I bought it. So, but yeah.
That's the balance. I think if you die in debt, you've made a profit. So I don't think that's very good financial advice, but...
Yeah. There you are. Yeah.
Can't take it with us.
Exactly, yeah. Fuck off. My husband says that is like, I'm spending a lot. He's like, fuck it, I'm spending the fucking lot. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, go for it. Said to my parents, fucking spend it. As you say, can't take it with you.
Can't take it with you.
Nah. But you can drive around in it, it's great.
If you could go back to that kid at school that we started with that was a puzzle piece that didn't quite fit.
Yeah.
What would you say? What would you say to them?
I always think this. I always think, what would I just say to that kid? What would I say? That little weirdo. What would I say? Just keep going. Keep going. You make it. You find your puzzle. You do find your puzzle. Like, I've found them. I've found my puzzle. And I've not only just got one puzzle now, I've got loads of puzzles that I do fit into. I've just found my tribe and I love it. It took me to just build this thing and my tribe actually came to me. It was so nice. Yeah, it was great. So you find your people, you find your tribe, you find the ones that are waving the flag for you as well, that are just cheering you on. They are there. So, and everybody, I hope everybody does find their tribe. So they're their own bunch of weirdos that they can just be utterly weird with and nobody cares, but supports you in all that way.
I think that's really important what you just said. Effectively, by just knowing who we are and just by being who we are, it'll attract the right people.
Exactly. Your right people always come to you, or you find them. I do aerial, hoop and pole and dance throughout the week. That's my kind of downtime. And when I walked into that place, I was like, these are my people. Like, this is my tribe. They're fucking weird and I love them. Like, they're great. And this was it. And you find them. And I've got such a nice blend of friends now. Like, I kind of weeded people out of my life as things went on, because you think, right, you're not very good for me. I'm going to just bench you. They're not bad people. They're not anything like that. They're just not fitting me. And they're making me not sit easy. So I've ended up with quite a few friends, but very good friends. And then when I opened up the studio, more people kind of gravitated to it. And I've got this collection of friends now. I would call them friends. They are my students, but I would call them also friends. And they're great. They're absolutely great. You find your tribe. You definitely do.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's a lovely place to end.
Cool.
Thank you so much. It's been
welcome.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Thank you.
I can't even remember what I said. I've just been chatting away.
You'll be able to listen back.
Yeah, chatting shit like normal. Yeah, cool.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. If Kim's story has inspired you and helped you to know that knowing who you are and being who you are is the first step to it all clicking into place, then you can hear more stories like this, tips, inspiration and tricks at reflectiverebels.co.uk/newsletter. And I would love you to subscribe and leave a review and a comment for Kim at wherever you listen to your podcast. That was a shambles, but we're going to leave it in anyway. I'm Ben.